Hello and welcome everybody to a Thursday edition of the Petty Crew Radio Show. I am Boss Hog, one of the co-hosts of the Petty Crew Radio Show, with the host of the Petty Crew Radio Show, B Rock, as
What's
well as
good?
one of the ladies, the final ladies of uh, the Petty Crew Radio Show, April O'Neil. We got a great show lined up for you guys. Come on in, come on in. Please make sure you like and share tonight's show. Again, we have a great show lined up for you guys. And when I turn it over to the host for the night, he'll let you know what we're talking about. With that being said, again, as you can see on the screen, please like and share today's show. So, with that being said, Brock, I'm gonna turn it over to you.
What's good, family? What's good? It's the Petty Crew, as my man Boss Hog said, man. We love y'all, appreciate y'all checking in with us. First and foremost, we want to let y'all know, for those who weren't aware, we've been on Clubhouse. Please go on Clubhouse, look for us, follow us. We're gonna put content out there. That being said, we were on Clubhouse and doing a pretty laid back, kind of unfiltered version. And I mean, hey, we loved it. And so we're gonna follow that right on over here and do it with the live. Same format, just laid back, chilling, but we're gonna hit our topics and all of that. That being said, we got a few good ones for y'all today. The first one we're gonna get on is our man Skip Bayless. For those of y'all who are sports fans, y'all know who I'm talking about. Some of you refer to him as Skip Baseless, but either way, Skip
Right.
Bayless. He had a lot to say in this past week and a half or so, because a very, at least by fans, who's viewed as a very prominent um, assistant or coordinator in the NFL, has not been getting a head coaching opportunity. A guy by the name of Eric Bieniemy, he's the offensive coordinator for the Chiefs, and for all intents and purposes, from what we've seen, has been performing, but hadn't been getting opportunities. And Skip Bayless had a whole lot to say about that. This quote in particular that Boss Hog is about to play for us right now. Y'all listen up.
Oh, let me go to the screen. Y'all hold on one second.
What
And
you drinking?
I know.
Bourbon.
Oh,
I'm not
So,
gonna advertise what bourbon I'm drinking until somebody start paying me though.
well, you didn't say the brand.
what you sipping on?
Bourbon.
Oh, okay.
Bourbons and blacks. No.
Well, we go jumping in the drinks later on. As we get relaxed in here. Uh, y'all gotta bear with me. Uh, this is our first time doing this show, so like this, I gotta give some permissions.
Oh no,
Before
you good, you good. Cause one thing I do want. Oh, you got it.
He got it. Did he click off?
He can click back on. But one
Uh,
thing I do, I'll talk with you about this while we're going. Um, because you know who Eric Bieniemy is, right?
Eric who?
Bieniemy. He's the offensive coordinator for the Chiefs.
Uh-huh.
And he hadn't gotten the opportunity at a head coaching job. Well, I won't say he hadn't gotten an opportunity.
Was he
He
black? He
hasn't
black?
got hired as a head coach, and he's been one of the prime candidates for at least the last 3 years. A lot of people believe, or they're saying, it's because Andy Reid calls the plays.
Mm-hmm.
So even though he is the offensive coordinator, they're saying that teams aren't giving him an opportunity because he doesn't call plays. But then you look at some of Andy Reid's coaching tree, and he has coaches that are out there that are head coaches that came directly from his tree, and went to being head coaches. Doug Peterson, um, for the Jaguars, is one of them. So it's something's up, and we may never know exactly what it is, but this is what Skip had to say about it.
can you guys see my screen right now?
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Okay, here we go. Let me play it for you guys.
national TV because I have been dumbfounded by it. It to me, but then in the end, it's really pretty explicable because I'm sorry, I'm going to just boil it down to these older white owners just aren't that comfortable with a black head coach because they need to interact. They need to go to dinner with the wives or the significants or whatever. And they're just not that comfortable. When they do have an interview, it's going to be a quicker click with a young white hot candidate than it's just culture. It's just the way life is. And I don't know how to defeat it because each of these guys is an independent owner in the umbrella of the NFL. And it's hard to legislate. You must hire a black coach, right?
No.
You can't unless it's in the man's heart to do the right thing. And every once in a while, we have the Rooneys in Pittsburgh who actually did the right thing.
Well, tell it like a TI is.
Right. I mean,
I see no.
that's not
He's telling the truth.
Go ahead. You go ahead and lead this one out. Tell me what you
I
think.
just feel like he's telling the truth. I mean, shit. Call it what it is and put it on Front Street. And they not gonna own up to it. I guarantee you, not one now NFL white owner will own up to it.
So what I took from that, oddly enough, is that he was insinuating that old white women are innately more racist than old white men because he's blaming it on the wives.
I take it as they might be good looking to the wives and they don't want to get their wife taken from them. Should I? They don't want that nigga around my white queen. Hell no. Shit. Hell no. Not today, Satan.
So the owners' wives out here looking for what's the
Shit.
acronym? BBC.
All right.
I'm trying to keep us from getting flagged. So
I mean, because look at the old ass, and typically the wives are probably 10, 15 years younger.
You know what? Now that you put it in that perspective, okay. Because, all right, this is me being being a narrow-minded Cowboys fan, which I can be at times. I'm usually a realistic Cowboys fan, but narrow-minded in the view that I'm picturing Jerry Jones' old ass and his wife just as old as him. So I'm like, I don't think Jerry worried about Jean checking for no young black dudes because they ain't checking for her. But if you got a you done robbed the cradle, then yeah, you might be worried about the young black dudes strutting in there as the head coach.
Right. Mm-hmm.
You know, when I saw this,
That's why if you notice the white ones, they had them big fat, big head, swollen ass head coaches because they know the wife not looking for that.
Well, oh God,
well, that's not necessarily true either.
Damn,
that's
baby.
Look,
Let me stop.
Hey, I don't know if you remember Any Given Sunday or was it Any Given Sunday? Yeah, it was Any Given Sunday with LL Cool J and Jamie Foxx and all
Al
that.
Pacino.
And Al Pacino.
Cameron
Al Pacino
Diaz.
showed you that NFL head coaches ain't, they ain't hurting for pussy. It ain't no shortage of pussy out there for NFL head coaches.
Right. Yeah, most definitely.
But it was Al fucking Pacino though, and he was fine.
It don't matter if it was Al Roker, if he was a head coach.
They throwing it regardless.
I guarantee you, sexy ass.
Probably got him lined up now, being the weatherman.
You know, if I may, man, when I read the article, when I watched the show, and when he said it, I had to sit back and think for a while. Did it actually make sense? Because you've never heard that standpoint before.
Not from a white dude.
Yeah, not from the right. You never.
Not from an older white dude at that. Skip in his 70s, ain't he?
Yeah.
Damn, is it?
Yeah, he's old.
Yeah, Skip takes damn good care of himself though.
Yeah.
It made me think. I mean, he may have a point. He may have a point. I'm not going to say that it's law, but I do believe when we are wondering in why these these owners are not hiring black coaches, that we can throw that opinion or that reasoning, in the head with the rest of them. Do I agree? I don't agree or disagree because I would have to see a lot more in the realm of that statement. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah,
I would have to
32
really
head,
look
32
at,
owners.
yeah, you're right. You would have to really look at the dynamic and how they doing it, because I just believe white owners do not want, because next to the quarterback, your head coach is the next face
Of
of
your
that
organization.
organization. And when the quarterback is not around, the head coach is a representative of the owner. And I just think that the owners want head coaches that look like them. I don't
But
even want
why
to
he
say
mentioned
Well,
his
all right.
wives
So,
though?
no, but what he no what he
I'm not sure how I feel about the wise part either. I mean, it could be, it could not. Because the first thing I tried to do was rebut it. I'm like, okay, we got Mike Tomlin. Mike Tomlin is the anomaly, but the Rooney family as a whole, they just move different. Their franchise is
right,
one of the oldest franchises in football, and they've only had three coaches in their history.
right.
So I had to X them out. Like, all right, well, they're different. Then I thought about Tampa Bay when they had wow, what's our guy's name?
Um, not Tony Dungy, but
Yeah, Tony Dungy. Tony
yeah,
Dungy.
Tony
Because
Dungy.
Tony Dungy, he was with
He
Tampa
black
Bay, and
adjacent though.
he was with the Colts. No, no, but I looked at it. I looked into it because he was with Tampa Bay and he was with the Colts.
And he was with the Colts.
And but the thing is, when he was with Tampa Bay, the owner of Tampa Bay at the time was 31 years old. So I don't think a young white dude classifies in what Skip was talking about. And then when he went to the Colts, the owner of the Colts was 41, still a relatively young white dude. So does Skip have a point when he's talking about maybe your older owners?
Right. But I think when he says white owners probably feel uncomfortable having to interact with black women. First of all, I find that
No, it wasn't
offensive.
black women. He said that the white owners' wives,
Yeah.
the
He
white
mentioned the
owners'
white owners'
wives,
wives, bringing them to dinner around their wives and shit. That's what he
right? And
said.
I'm like,
And I
what?
took that as like, shit. Either A, he intimidated that the black man is gonna be attracted to his white wife, or
No, what he's saying is that white owners' wives are shit racist. Fuck, it ain't no other way around it. Like,
And hold on, but April did have a point though, because I thought like you were thinking until April had a good point. Some of these older owners
we got
got
younger
wives
wives.
that's 30, 40 years younger than them.
Mm-hmm. And if he can't get it up,
Well, they got
I,
pills for that, but I mean,
shit, that don't
they
always
don't
work.
make your stroke game no better. But
right. I mean, like I
Cause
said,
I heard it shrink when they get older on
but
white men. And this
okay,
is from people that work, and I'm saying this
what?
comes from somebody who works in healthcare or that has to deal, work in retirement homes that can testify to shit. I ain't just
Hold
put it
on,
out my
hold on,
ass.
whoa, wait a minute. You saying that it shrink or it
Yeah, that
shrink with a certain demographic? I
like
ain't
it.
never look. I've been in healthcare for
Your
22
aunt
years,
told me
and I
this.
have never heard that.
Your aunt told me this working in the retirement home.
I have never heard that. Look, all right, I can't
okay.
vouch
So
for that
hold
one.
on, y'all hear me out. So is the I'm just trying to follow where April going. I guess so. Are you saying that the white women are what? The white owners are scared that their wives are going to be attracted to the coaches? It-
Not even that. It could be just the old stereotype that black men, they Jim Crow era babies. So shit. Um, the whole how they tried to say black men raped white women back in the day and shit. That shit stuck in they were taught that shit. So they were taught to hate. Well, I ain't saying all of them, and I ain't or whatever. But in the back of their mind, shit, they don't want that shit around their wife.
So how does that relate to the wife is where I'm trying to get to. How does that relate to the wives of the owner? That's see
Because
because Because if Skip mindset is that white owners'
Well, just
wives do
okay. Well,
nothing
just
like
picture
that.
this: you are old. Let's say you in your 70s. You got a team. Your wife 35, bad body, banging, fine as hell. Then you bring in this 35, 40-year-old coach hell, whether white or black, shit. Um, nice looking, ain't hard on the eyes, and got to be around your wife all the time, and all this shit. Wouldn't I mean shit? I guess they intimidated by the shit.
Maybe,
Or
but you know
jealous.
what? This is what I'm gonna say on that one.
I
Okay.
say intimidated.
I'd be more if I was that damn insecure. I'd be more concerned with my wife smashing a player.
Right.
Shit, who say she not?
This is what I think, and
And
I
TV shows tell a little bit of the truth. When you look at TV shows like on the game, the TV show The Game, Malik was fucking the owner's wife, which was Megan Good, and
Yeah,
that's why he got cut.
but in
T-
real life, ain't no players knocking
We
that.
don't know that,
In real life, because you would know it. In real life, ain't no football player knocking down no owner's
the
wife.
owner's wife.
In real life,
Hey, look, you know what?
because you
I
would know
don't
it.
know,
You
but
would
what I
know it.
will say is this: this is what I honestly think. I honestly think this. Skip was in the bad graces of Black Twitter not too long ago because him and Uncle Shay was going at it.
Right.
oh yeah, what was
I
that little
think this is
argument?
Skip's play to get back in the good graces of Black Twitter. That's all I think it is. I don't know if any of this shit that Skip
So you think
said
he pandering?
holds any merit. I think Skip saw an opportunity to get back in the good graces of Black Twitter, and he did it.
Now
And
you know what?
honestly, he probably is back in the good graces of Black Twitter because most folks ain't gonna dig into it.
Right.
But
But is it a lie?
Well, no. What
I
what
don't
what
know.
what Brock is saying is it's not a matter of if it's a lie or the truth. What I'm doing is making a statement that somehow draws the black community, black Twitter, black social media back into a thought of, you know what?
He ain't half
Because
bad.
look at Donald Sterling.
Right.
He didn't want his. Was that a he that he was married to? Was she a man?
She was a woman,
Nah,
man.
she was a she. Well,
Yeah,
shit, I don't know who is a she nowadays. I don't know. I
that's
think
the
that
But
old
he identified.
they played recordings of him saying how he didn't want black basketball players around her or something like
Yeah,
that.
because Donald Sterling was a 70 something and she was a 30 something, and she
Hmm.
was around all these young basketball players. So I'm not
right,
saying that what you're saying doesn't hold merit. I'm just wondering if we're gonna do numbers and extrapolate that out, how much merit does it hold?
right. And when you think about it, it's like let me throw some shit in the wind, and if it stick, it stick. If it don't, it don't. Because this is when you think about it, that whole thought is a off the wall, out of the box reasoning. Now it's like, let me find something. Let me find a reason for why these black men are
Right,
not getting hired.
right, and I mean, let's look at the other side of it. And by no means, and I am I sitting here saying that Eric Bieniemy shouldn't have an opportunity. Maybe he don't interview well. I don't know. I'm not in the room. Do I
Well, how
think
did he
that?
get that position? Shit, he
Well,
had
I
to
mean,
interview some type of.
he's the offensive coordinator in Kansas City under Andy Reid who calls the plays. But there's also been other offensive coordinators under Andy Reid who was calling the plays in who have since got head coaching jobs.
What?
So that's where the controversy comes in, where it's like, all right, what is it?
But you know
Why
what?
isn't this guy getting an opportunity?
What?
So I'm not
Well,
saying that the controversy shouldn't be looked into. However, I don't know if I would go as extreme left as saying he ain't getting a head coaching job because owners are afraid that he gonna be banging their wives.
right. Here's the deal. Because when we talk about this subject, and it was, oh well, he's not doing the play calling. Well, honestly, none of that shit matters because when you look at these same his same white counterparts, when you got the young head coach that got hired over there at the Raiders, the one over there, when you look at the young head coach for Miami, look at their track record. Nigga, they wasn't play callers. You get what I'm saying? They was on coaching staffs. And so I just believe, all BS aside, is that these white owners, because they are not forced to have to hire black coaches, just want to deal with men that look like them. Sadly, is it right? No, it's not right. But under the way the NFL is structured, the NFL can't tell its owners who to hire. Only
Right.
thing they can do is say, listen, you got to interview somebody, a person of color. Now,
because of the Rooney Rule.
yes, but here's what I say to black coaches, because just as much as I am for us, I also have to say, you know what, damn it, it's like what's my boy said? Charleston White said something that made sense. Remember, we did a show on Clubhouse where we were talking about in April. You said it. You said the problem is that we integrated when we should have stayed segregated.
Mm-hmm.
Now watch this. Let's add on to what you said on Clubhouse, right? Charleston White went on to say, you know what? Malcolm Martin Luther King was just nothing more than a spokesperson, but even Martin had to say, you know what? I think I brought my people into a burning house by arguing the integration when we were okay in segregation. Now, how does that relate to the whole coaching problem in this? African American coaches should know and be aware that your chances of being a head coach in the NFL is slim.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And with that being said, there should just be a understanding within the black NFL coaching community that it's okay that we stick together as good offense coordinators, defensive coordinators, assistant head coaches, and all there are other football leagues.
Mm-hmm.
Charleston White say, why would you go where them crackers don't want you to go? Why would you want to go to restaurants? Because now you want to go to their restaurant, but now you just shut down Mama D's restaurant because now y'all want to go over there to Billy Ray's barbecue shack. And it's no different with the NFL. If
Right.
you know you're not going to get that position and you understand the game in the NFL, why not take your talents to the XFL? Nigga, they still paying money. The Rockets is dropping checks, and he
Ice
ain't
Cube started the big three, and you would think
right.
with
He ain't.
the
He's not the only one that's behind the XFL. Why not coach in the what is it, USA Football League? Because all that shit is still starting now. Now, does it look pretty? No, but if you are passionate about being a head coach, what does it matter?
because it's the money.
And guess what, man? Look,
It's the money,
man,
and money will make you do wrong,
but
make you do right.
Eric B. Enemy is going to make more money as a offensive coordinator slash assistant head coach than he would ever be a head coach because he's not going to be a head coach. So all the where he plays calls, none of that matter. They don't want head coaches. They don't want black men to represent their organization, be it racist, whatever you want to call it. And they should just be fine
All
with
right,
that.
hold on. I hear you.
Talk to me.
But we also said that more often than not, the representative of an NFL team is who? The quarterback, right?
Right, the quarterback.
So, what's the difference between the quarterback being the face of the team and the head coach?
Absolutely nothing. That's why you don't have too many players that are black as quarterbacks. It could be the, what do they like to
Because
say?
the quarterback is the captain. So
Right. It's still the whole notion that at the end of the day, like I said, who's the first representative of the team? Now, technically, it's supposed to be the head coach, but realistically, it's
It's the
the
quarterback.
quarterback. And then who's right behind the quarterback? The
It's the
coach.
head coach.
It's the head coach. And who own these teams?
Well,
White
unless you
owners.
my dumb ass team, then it's the fucking owner.
mm.
But
Right.
I'm sorry.
Right. Hey, listen,
I'm
we go.
sorry, man.
Yeah,
We start.
Jerry, the quarterback, the
Listen,
manager,
now
the
watch this.
owner.
Now watch this. Again, my thing to black coaches. If you listening, if you go watch the podcast, because I mean we worldwide, it's gonna come across somebody's face. If you make it to that level, especially in the field, you have to make a decision within yourself. Are you going to be satisfied in moving up to, for instance, offensive coordinator? It's like what we were talking about, the ceiling that black women have and black men have in corporate America, in America in general. Are you going to be satisfied saying, you know what? I might not never be a head coach, but if I made it to offensive coordinator, I'm good with that. If I made it to defensive coordinator, I'm fine with that. Because at the end of the day, that's still damn near $1 million check, if that's a
Yeah,
year.
I mean, you getting good bread,
You got that
especially
right.
if you're considered a good coordinator. You
You,
getting
you
good bread.
you're getting good money. So the question now is, are you gonna take the money
Am I more passionate about being a head coach, or am I more passionate about being a coach in what is considered the best league?
right?
But it's also a catch-22 also, because once they start, if they ever start hiring more, then the spotlight is gonna be on them so bright. One fuck up, or if like if Mike Tomlin wasn't doing what he could do for the Steelers, he'd have been gone.
Well, no,
No,
no.
no, that
The
ain't true.
the Steelers. Look,
Yeah,
I'm convinced because
yeah.
Mike Tomlin did. This is the first year he hadn't made it to the playoffs, and people are like, oh, is Mike Tomlin in trouble? The Rooney family is just different.
Yeah.
They have had three that is one of the
But that's
oldest
the
franchises
Steelers.
in
I'm talking
football.
about other owners, the ones who don't
Well,
really
yeah, that's
want
why I
to
say
hire black.
Mike Tomlin is probably safe because the Rooney family is just they move
They
different.
take care of their coaches. It
Yeah.
doesn't matter if they black or
But
white.
I'm just saying the ones that don't really want to hire or is on the fence of hiring, but once they do get one and he not producing
Oh yeah,
like
your
he
ass is under a
should,
microscope. Yeah,
they gonna put
you
him
ain't got
under
a
a
whole
harder
lot right.
microscope than the white coach, because Jason
Well,
Garrett
but
should
I
have
mean, we
been gone. But I
we know
guarantee you, if
that
his
because
name
we
was Jay
did that.
Sean Garrett, he would have been gone long before. What? How long was Jason Garrett with the
Jay Sean Garrett would have had 3.5 seasons.
nigga? What? Okay, exactly. But
Well,
Jason Garrett got all them time after fucking time after fucking time and still couldn't produce.
But we again, hey, look, April. As much as I want to agree with you on that,
Go
I
on and
have to
agree.
say, hold on, hear me out. I have to say this: we cannot use our crazy ass franchise as an example
Well,
because
no, no,
we
no,
got
no.
an
I'm just
owner
saying
that is
the
out of the
microscope.
fucking box.
Anytime that we are a minority in something, and once we,
We can't use our team though as the example because our team is just silly.
shut up.
oh God,
But
I mean,
but that's the owner who ain't never hired black.
but because
But
he
I
does not.
guarantee. But if he did, he's going to hound him. He ain't gonna get
Well,
a
no,
fair.
no,
They not
our
gonna get
owner
a fair
has
chance.
control. I don't want to hijack this and turn this into a Cowboys conversation, but I'll say
Well,
this:
I'm just using that
our
as an
owner hires who he
example.
can control.
Say that again,
Exactly.
B. Say that again, B.
Our owner hires who he can control. I don't think it matters, black, white, or indifferent.
Yes,
He
yes,
Well,
hires who
what's
he can
another
yes.
thing?
control. Because the fact of the matter is the GM of the Dallas Cowboys, even though by title is Jerry Jones, is a black dude named Will McClay,
Yeah, yes.
who is
And
not
seeing the
taking the
fact that you
GM
said
title
that is
because
news to
Jerry
fucking me.
wants it. Jerry hires who he can control.
Right. Now we want to go any further. You can look at the Browns hired a black coach, the Cincinnati Bengals hired a black coach,
The Texans,
the Texans had a black coach, the
Head
Vikings
coach.
had a head,
yeah.
yes, head
Oh,
coach. So no, but what
Arizona had one at one point.
how
Arizona
long did they
did,
last?
that's my
Some of
point.
them lasted a while. I know the one in Cleveland he lasted a hell of a lot longer than I thought he would.
You know what? It depends on the coach. Dungy stayed a minute at Tampa Bay, and what did they do? The minute he built the Super Bowl team, they let him go and brought in
Mm-hmm.
Kentucky.
And brought
Mm-hmm.
in Chucky.
See how they do.
But that's what I'm
But
saying.
then
But
Tony went to
the coach
the
had won a
Colts and
Super
won
Bowl
him one.
anyway, and won the
He
Super
went
Bowl
and got
anyway.
him one anyway.
Anyway, you see what I'm saying?
Marvin
So
Lewis, Marvin Lewis, I ain't gonna lie, Marvin Lewis got his fair shake. He was in Cleveland for
for a
for a
while,
long time. Marvin
right?
Lewis, he
It's
was in Cleveland for a
Cleveland, nigga. It's
long time.
Cleveland, nigga.
No. But the deal is with all of this is
But
that
I'm just saying they not gonna get the fair chances they gonna be looked under a microscope harder than a white coach, even if they do start hiring more. They not
yes.
gonna treat them like they
Listen,
ain't gonna get the Mike Tomlin treatment from the Rooney family. They not
and,
gonna get that.
and it's sad that we have to even discuss this
Exactly.
Yeah, that's
because
true.
because at the end of the day, these coaches know it. They know it, but this is the position they set themselves up for because they can teach on the college level. Listen, that one thing that is changing is on the college level.
Yeah,
Shit. Now, if you want to go somewhere and still make some millions, then go to a college program.
go to a Power
NFL
Five
coaches
school
do
in
it.
college and you gonna get paid, and they gonna treat your ass
And
like
watch
royalty if you
if
start winning.
Dion don't produce in Colorado, I guarantee you
No, they
they
ain't.
gonna be on his ass like
No,
stink
they ain't.
on shit.
No, they
I
ain't because
mean,
they
but
gonna
hell,
make sure.
college don't play that. If Dion's name was Danny, he'd be gone too. So,
Right. But that's
so
what I'm saying. Like my team, so of course, everybody know I'm a 49ers fan. College
Um,
football, number one, no, well, number one A, one B, one A, one A, Notre Dame, Texas. Both of those have had and have black
uh,
coaches. The University of Miami will be number three. Those are my three teams that I support on the college level. Right now, Notre Dame has a black coach. They have had a history of hiring black coaches. Now, have they been? Yeah, they been fair. Hell no, I ain't stupid. I watched it. They're not fair. When Texas brought in the coach who coached Lamar Jackson, he was on a 5-year contract. He only did 3, and they had to pay his ass out for the other
yeah, they
two
did.
years. He only did 3. But the problem is that the
We was getting our ass kicked though.
yeah, well, no, but the problem is that the alumni expectation for him to turn around that program so fast. So the question is why didn't he get uh what was the white boy? What was the coach for Texas for all them years? Start with an
Mac
N.
Brown.
Why didn't they not give him the Mac Brown treatment? Because when Mac Brown got to Texas, Texas was sorry. It wasn't
Yeah,
until he started Vince Young as a rookie, as a freshman, that Texas actually got back in notoriety. They won a little bit, made it to a bowl game. That next year, no, I believe Vince Young, junior year or senior year, that's when they won the BCS. But watch
my thought
before that,
process with college. I'm with you on that because my thought process with college is this: if you genuinely plan on giving a coach a shot, you got to give him 4 years. The reason I say 4 years is because that gives his first recruiting class time.
right,
4 years that you should be able to say, all right, this didn't work out, you
right,
know, but
right.
anything earlier than that, you hadn't even given his first recruiting class.
Yeah, you haven't given him a chance to build anything. And that's why I said if these coaches are so pressed, in which the truth is that you rarely see black coaches in the NFL come out on this subject. It's only us, the media, because we are the media also. We're the only ones that really press this issue every time there are head coaching vacancies. We're the only one that press it. You never see these coaches in the media doing interviews stating, anything close to what we said. They
Right.
got to walk that thin line. You know what I'm saying? So they're not going
Indeed.
to speak out about it. So I believe that they are comfortable. I'm just saying that we make it an issue when the truth is, if they don't like it, damn it, there are other football organizations, the college level, other pro levels that you can live out that dream. If you want to be treated like royalty, why don't your ass look at college football? Because they will treat your ass like royalty. It's your
Indeed.
word.
Indeed.
It,
Indeed.
it's your word.
Man.
So
So
okay, I'm gonna turn it back over to you, B.
yeah, so man, we could go on and on about that, and we're gonna talk more about that because this is gonna be an ongoing issue. But
That's
we want
right.
to get to this next topic. Our next topic, I don't even need to explain it because anybody who hadn't been living under a rock has seen it, and we're gonna get on Jonathan Majors and the Ebony cover.
Here it is, right here.
There's been a lot of chit chat about this Ebony cover and Jonathan Majors, and I'm just, I've seen a lot of it, and I
What
have
is
my
that,
views
velvet?
on it, but
Are you
I want
stupid?
to hear what the crew got to say first. So, I'm gonna throw it to my favorite white girl, April. Tell me what you got, baby.
Man, it's different. It's ugly. I don't like it. I mean, what is it? What is it supposed to be? Is the question.
Do you
Had
want
he
an
have
answer
been
to that?
sitting
Because
up
I
there,
actually do
had
have an
he have
answer
been
to that.
sitting up there like a pimp or something,
No,
like
I have actually have an answer to that if you want the answer. But
they said it was an
Yes.
avatar.
it's an anime character.
Yeah. See, yeah. But when I looked at the anime character, he didn't have on. He had on boots, so those are jean boots. Those are connected all the way up. But I'm gonna say this. I ain't gonna say. I, I ain't never seen him dressed like this, so I'm wondering who talked him into doing this.
He's
Cause
a bit eclectic with his
oh,
his
is he?
fashion.
Oh, see, I don't. Well, I guess because of his movies, he seems so macho. I ain't gonna say masculine. I'm gonna say macho. I guess those roles that he play. But I look at like Prince. Prince was a pretty motherfucker, and I ain't gonna let now motherfucker call him gay or whatever, cause I ain't never heard no stories about him being gay. And he kept the baddest of the baddest bitches on his arm. You never seen him around a
He
bunch of
kept a
niggas.
harem. Let's call it what it was.
Whatever. Shit, they was women.
He had a harem. It was a gang of them.
He was stuck in the 70s. But I seen where somebody tried to equate it to they tried to bring up Andre 3000. And do I think he's gay? Do I think this is gay? It's different. It's the pose that makes him come off feminine, and the
Is it the
perky of the
pose or is it the duck lips?
the pose. The outfit, I guess, whatever. I don't know what it's given, but it look like it's ugly. It's just ugly to me. I don't
He
like
on
it.
some rock star shit.
Yeah.
Okay.
Boss Hog, what you got?
Yeah, thank you. So before I give my comment, I shared this cover on my own social media page. And so let's look at some of the comments in which, people had something to say about it. Let me pick a couple of good ones. Let's see. Well, I had one young lady that said, well, Ebony has been trying to feature him as a heartthrob. I've been very confused about this look in particular. However, the women on their IG seem to love it. It said it speaks emasculation to me. Then when I had another person to say, let's see, what else? What's another good one? Okay, it says now this was from another young lady. She says the stylist said his look was based off an anime character. The media is hyping him just like they did Michael B. Jordan when the first Creed came out. Now, and I'm gonna give my thoughts on all of that shit. Then we had another young lady that says collecting a check almost always means compromise. There is indeed a motive that is being pushed. It is a shame that those willing to push it seem to enjoy doing their part and taking others down in the process. As the world turns, Christ is soon to return. Okay, now with that, and I had several people on my IG page as well as my personal page give similar stances. I'm going to stand by my comment that I gave, which for you guys that did not see, I said um, hiding in plain sight. These are telling choices from our black men. There's a list of black men that wouldn't do this, and there's a reason why. If you're going to collect a check, make sure it's on your terms. Now, as we've been saying for years, if you've ever watched this show, there is an agenda as much as people want to believe it or not. You can be as ignorant, as unbothered and concerned as you want to when it comes to our children, our community, our culture. As I stated, first and foremost, number one, you've never seen Denzel Washington put in this position. Never. Hold on, let me clear out my damn inbox. Uh oh, there's somebody posting pictures. Okay.
It's me.
Oh, that's you. Hold on.
Yeah.
Hold on, because that's popping up while the screen is sharing. So Denzel Washington would never be put in this compromising position. When you let's think about our um as as eclectic as Terrence Howard is. Terrence Howard has not done a cover of this magnitude. And I can go down the list of black men that would not have put themselves in this position. Honestly, when I first seen this cover, I thought it was D Wade. I had to literally zoom to the picture because
Damn.
I ain't got those best since my accident. My vision is good, but then it'll trip on me too. And so I literally had to zoom in and look and was like, oh, that's old dude that played in the movies. But I literally, when I first saw it from a distance, I thought it was D Wade. But I still stand by what I said. I don't
Okay.
care if it's a anime character. He's not looking like a anime character. He's not. Because I seen the picture of the actual anime character. This is not the anime character. Like
And
like
I do follow a little anime, and I gotta admit the anime character, the dude is a badass in anime.
yeah, I
He,
mean, and
he
that's
he's a
fine. But
badass. I gotta admit.
and that's fine.
But
However, now somebody's gonna argue, well, there's other pictures within the magazine because I seen the picture of him where he's sitting in a red recliner and he got the roses. Okay, that doesn't matter because that's not what is the topic at hand. This right here, this choice of picture is at hand. And like I told one of my mentors, and he's a brother, I said, you're a doctor, correct? So you understand social engineering. I don't care what excuse we make, it still boils down to that our eyes and our mind are trained to believe and think a certain thing. Because why is it that we looking at this and we saying that's very gay? Let's call it a spade a spade. He looks very feminine. We already know that for years. The minister Farrakhan and our other black leaders for years have been stating that that black men masculinity is attacked in different ways. You have men in media. Let's be real.
Okay.
Who is pushing this narrative. I don't think it's a good look for the brother. I don't care what anybody says. He might not be gay, as one of my Instagram followers stated. Whether he's gay or not, it still look gay. So it doesn't matter. And there's not a chick out there that's going to put me in a position that make me appear to be something that I'm not. With that said, I'm going to digress and I'm going to turn it over to B Rock.
All right. So if you if you give me this picture alone, for me, I didn't feel one way or another about it. I just like I looked at it and I'm like, you know what? He just on some rock star shit right now. He at the top of his game. The boy done did everything from Lovecraft Country um Avengers. He's gonna knock out Creed and the Avengers in the same year. So I'm like, all right, he on his rock star shit. It is what it is. But to what made me at least put some thought into what Boss Hog and April are saying is this. Hey, do me a favor, boss. Go to your inbox and post that picture that I just sent you.
Okay, hold on. Let me see. Let me stop that. Let me go to my inbox. Let me pull this.
Had he not a pose like that, it wouldn't have come off as feminine.
Well, the
Right.
thing is, even
Because
that
he
by
don't have on
itself,
heels, he don't have on makeup,
no,
and
he
to
got
be
on
honest,
boots
yeah, he got on
and a
boots. But
scully. And to
but
be perfectly honest, if I was in shape like that, you couldn't keep a shirt on me neither.
And
but
watch
it's no
this.
different than men wearing heels in the platform heels in the '70s. Shit, look at what's his name,
Right, right.
Antonio.
And the thing is, and I really had to think about it because I'm like, I can't sit here and say nothing because
Some of us got uncles
the
who
I
dressed
can't
like a
sit here and
pimp
say
back in
nothing
the
because
day.
depending on the day, I'll walk out of here in some chino shorts that's above the knee with a man bag. So I can't say a whole lot.
But watch this though.
But
Here's okay. Come
but
on,
I
bro.
will say this: these pictures individually add no credence to anything that Boss Hog or April has said. However, these pictures collectively add all the credence to what Boss Hog and April are saying, and that's basically insinuating that masculinity and, in essence, men are not necessarily a needed entity. I came across this. This is actually sent to me. My wife sent this to me, and when I read the caption, I couldn't help but pick out a couple things from it where it talks about the male has been minimized in our day, told that he's not important, blamed for the country, slavery, inequality, and everything. He's no longer a protector, provider, or a leader, but rather a partner, high value pimp, and spiritual joke. Because of this, everybody and everything can now claim the title of a man except a man. So I'll say this: that's the caption that accompanied the post that had all four of these pictures. And so when I read that and I look at all four of the pictures together, that adds credence to everything that both of you are saying, including the caption that I just read. And it has me in a position to where I'm very very torn because when I look at all of these independently, I look at them as independent things, but collectively, I can't help but ask myself, man, is there a narrative
I
that's
think they
being
being
pushed?
extra with the Rihanna picture because that I
No,
don't.
no, no. Watch this. Hold
They
on.
just creating shit because that's Vogue, and
But
he
are they
typically as a
creating shit
man
or is
wouldn't have
it a
been on the
collective of
cover.
everything that is encompassed there? And that's why I'm like, well, damn, you know. So I tend to try to have a hard stance one way
So
or
how the
another.
hell was the picture supposed to be taken?
Anybody who knows me or anybody who follows me knows that I try to have a hard stance one way or another, so I can stand on that shit, and I'm gonna be on it either way. But this is one of those where I'm like, damn, maybe there's some credence to this. As much as I've been trying to say, nah, people just being extra woke, people doing this, people do it might be something to it. When you look at all of these together, there might be something to it.
Now, if I may, let me read. I went to my Instagram, and there was a conversation that was back and forth with one of, well, both of my uh Instagram followers. But I'm going to read a comment, and he was directing it. Uh, uh, this is one time I'm gonna give Carter some light, but he was directing it to my mentor, and he says at Dr. Mo Frank 357, plain and simple, he kissed the ring to be rock. Stop it. Either he gay for the money or just gay, but still gay. I'll die before I'm rich that way. Now, with that being said, I have looked at all these uh, pictures that Brock sent us to post. Okay, the Vogue. Now we know that the tallest statue in Africa is a statue of, because you gotta be more aware of your surroundings to hold these conversations we have. The tallest statue in Africa is a statue of the black man, his wife, and his child. You probably didn't know that that was the tallest statue in America, because it probably showed up on your social media page every blue moon, Twitter, whatever, and you just really never paid attention to it. And what folks are comparing it to, and let's take this Vogue um, pose for instance. The roles are reversed. It is the black man who is standing strong with his wife beside him, pointing in a, I call it in a bodybuilder's pose, with his hands pointed up and his child on his arm, which is very similar to the Vogue picture. That's why they compared it. But then you have in the Vogue, and we understand Rihanna is a big, a big, listen, I'm a big Rihanna fan. Let me put it like that. So much so I call her my strawberry starburst. I done gave her own nickname. However, the picture is still telling again. It's social engineering. We're not taught to look at things for more than what it is, because what we want to do is keep it at the surface and not dig deeper into what's really going on. Now, on the surface, it looks like a harmless, picture. It's they're not, first of all, they're not married. They're boyfriend, girlfriend who share a baby together.
And one
But
on the way.
right, and one on the way. So first of all, this is not a family. We need to make that clear. Just because they're having babies don't mean that they're a family. Family is husband, wife, child. That's family. Other than that, you're just fucking to make babies. And so in this case, they're just making babies. They're in a relationship, but they're making babies. Then on top of that, she's the lead, and the father and the child are behind. Now it might not seem like nothing to the trained eye, but if your ass done been to college and you done studied art appreciation like I have, which that shit is requirement for my degree. I done took music appreciation. You name it, I done been in all them appreciations. You learn and understand that pictures do have meanings. They're not there just to say, fuck it, I just wanted to paint this picture. I just wanted to take this picture. It is meant to relay a message. And so with the Vogue, that's what people compared it to. Now the black man is behind the black woman. Now, how do we relay that into today's time? Right now, what's being propped up? Black women. Black women are this. Black women are most educated. Black women is this. That black women is this. What are we seeing on social media? It ain't the
What are
black
we seeing
family.
in these pictures that are all on here?
Right. Okay, on the pictures, it's the same thing. Then when you move on to you know, D Wade and his family dynamic. Okay, we already know what D Wade did. I got a son that I want to turn into a daughter. Because that's what he doing, turning his son into a daughter. Then when you look at the Brat, as much as I love Brat, I grew up listening to her, one of maybe a handful of female artists. Now you have a LGBTQ couple who are now finna bring a child into their relationship dynamic. Now, how did she get that baby? Either she had sex for it or she was artificially inseminated. In any case, that woman did not impregnate her to create that baby. And so, yes, as Brock read the caption that went along with that, yes, black men are under attack. Yes, because again, I said before, if we can get to the women and the women, and as we get into the women, if we can pump up this LGBT community stuff. That's breaking down the black family. A lot of folks don't see it like that. What I had to realize as a person, everybody is not going to be as conscious as me. And I'm not as conscious as the next person and as the next person. But to deny that there's nothing going on is just straight foolishness. And that's just where I will leave that. At the end of the day, it's to each his own. But because I am a aware black man, I do see the pattern, like I told Dr. Franklin on Instagram. You can call it what you want to. I'm watching the patterns. I
Indeed,
studied
indeed.
sociology. I
And that's
studied
why I
all of it.
said when you look at these, and you can cover them up. When you look at them independently, they don't move me one way or another. But when you throw them together, it's kind of hard to not say that there's something there.
Right, right.
You know,
Well,
so
the brat being gay, her coming out a couple years ago.
but it's not about that. I mean, we all it was no surprise when that happened. It wasn't like we was like, "Oh my God, the Brad is gay."
Hell, I
They,
peeped
I
her
mean,
being gay
no,
when
none
as
of
a
us were
kid.
surprised. But my point is that they're all kind of being all of those photos are kind of all being pushed around the same time, and that's when it was like, okay, when you put them all together, then it's like, you gotta at least. I'm not saying you have to agree or disagree, but at least, well, was it Arsenio back in the day? Things that make you go,
Hmm.
It was one of
Hmm.
those things for me.
Right. And like
So,
I said,
so that being said, let's roll to this last topic, man. We're gonna
yes, sir.
anybody who is a Texas hip hop head, or honestly, a hip hop head in
Oh, we
general.
had comments, by the way. Somebody.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh, we're
I
gonna make
popped
sure we
it
Mhm.
up.
hit those.
Oh,
But a
okay.
hip
Listen,
hop
so
head in general, if you don't think that Ghetto Boys belong in the hip hop conversation, I cordially invite you to kiss my ass, disrespectfully. But that being the case, um, we had a little bit of controversy with the Ghetto Boys, and I'm gonna ask Boss Hog to post that video up real quick. Just a short tidbit. This was an hour long podcast, so obviously we're not gonna post the whole podcast, but we're gonna post a clip just so you can get an idea of what we're talking about.
so what I'm gonna do, if you guys can bear with me, what I did is pulled up 3 clips. I'm just gonna play 3 clips. They are only about 5 minutes a piece long. And so to be able to hold the conversation, I'm gonna have to play, since I'm not going to show the show, I have to play the audio of these 3 clips or the video for you guys to kind of understand and us go into the this topic. So with that being said, in no particular order, I am going to share my screen. Let's see which one is this. We're gonna say Okay, we're gonna go here. All right.
Yep, Geto Boys is back and reloaded. All in your mouth, yeah, now deep throated. This is for the streets, the real, the railroad. The disenfranchised, the truth, the scapegoated. And they ain't know it. We
Oh
speak the
shit,
truth.
this
So
is the whole video. Hold on.
See, Geto Boys is Scarface. In the line,
Let me see that.
I don't have it now.
I want to see where it says Geto Boys Scarface.
No, it's no. This is what
I don't want to.
This is what it said.
I don't want to never get Geto Boys and Scarface intertwined ever, because I don't need Geto Boys to be Scarface. You feel me?
Mm-hmm.
So if it said Scarface, Geto Boys, or Scarface, or any of that shit two together, then they wrong for that.
Yeah.
Because I can stand on my own 2 feet with no Geto Boys.
And this is why. So this is why what was so baffling, because everybody knows that, right? You carved out a place in history for yourself. You were so good at what you did as a solo artist. You get that. Can't nobody deny that. So ain't no hate, ain't no jealousy whatsoever. You know, remember, I'm the one that said, hey man, you ought to call yourself Scarface. You know what I'm saying? So I ain't gonna never hate on you. Never. I mean, when I see you winning, I see Geto Boys winning, because we are a group. So when somebody start talking about Scarface standing on his own, I said to myself, I said, well, Scarface got enough hit songs where he don't need to have be doing a Geto Boy song. He could have just done a Scarface song. If you would have done a Scarface song, that would have been different. A Scarface song is a Scarface song. That's on Scarface's catalog, not Geto Boys' catalog. And to do a song that's from the Geto Boys catalog, My Mind's Playing Tricks, a song that I co-wrote, and to not have me included in that moment.
Let's go back to how the song came about too, because you did have a verse on that record. Those 3 verses, we all know where those 3 verses and that music came from. You put another verse on it, but do you recall back when you heard that song and Jay was trying to get you to rap on that motherfucker that you didn't like it? Do you remember that?
I don't know if I didn't like the song, but I didn't think it was anything phenomenal.
Okay, well, it's phenomenal.
Yeah.
And actually, now that I think about it, it's a lot of shit that I do that's phenomenal. And I think that the reversal of trying to put that shit on me because you didn't go there to the Grammys is fucked up. Because my phone rang. Okay? And if a motherfucker didn't reach out to you, it's not my fault. So don't put that shit on me, Willie. That's not cool. Okay. I'm not cool. And if I perform that song, I don't get mad when you go out and perform that song, bro. And I wouldn't even give a fuck if you got the call. That's not how I'm made. Like, I don't care about that. Have you ever went out and performed My Mind Playing Tricks somewhere before without me?
Many times.
Okay, well, me too.
Right.
Okay.
Okay, so here's the difference. We're not talking about just performing. We're not just talking about performing a song anywhere, everywhere, like we all do. Every last one of us has done it. Mm-hmm. We're not talking about that. We're talking about a moment in history, the 50th year, a 50-year tribute to hip hop, a moment that's capsulated in history, a moment that people ain't gonna never forget. Now I understand that it was short time, but here's where I'm at with that. For something like that, for you to sit across this table from me weekly and knowing that you finna go to the Grammys and perform that song.
Let me hold up, time out.
Okay.
I didn't know I was gonna do that song.
At what point did you know?
When I got there.
Okay. So, all right. Okay, so you know you was, but you didn't know you was gonna perform My Mind's Playing Tricks.
I had no clue.
But when you found out, did you even think to say, man, this is a big moment? I'm performing the Geto Boys song, something that me and Willie D wrote. Yeah, I wrote 3 verses, but Will wrote 1. He was on the song. Mm-hmm. He is a Geto Boy. They want a Geto Boy song. Did you think for one moment to say, yo, Will, you know, even if time was running out on you, you didn't think for one moment to say, man, let me just at least call Will and let him know what's going on. It ain't cross your mind to say that?
It didn't cross my mind, Willie. It didn't cross my mind.
I don't believe you.
You don't believe shit. You
No,
don't
I'm
believe.
just
You don't
saying.
believe that he agrees.
I'm just saying, man.
You know?
I don't believe you, bro, because I know you smarter than that.
Well, I didn't think
I know.
about it.
No.
And it was.
You
It's,
do a
it's
lot
so
of
much.
thinking,
It's
bro.
It's so much shit going
You do
on.
a lot of thinking,
and it's so much shit. Let me tell you something too. So you know, it's so much shit going on, Willie. Until I don't know if you got the call or not. I don't know what's happening with you on your side of it.
Come on, bro.
I don't know. I don't know who handled your business. And as a matter of
you
fact,
know if the Grammys call about me
when
doing
that
something for
motherfucker,
Geto Boy, I'm gonna call you.
I didn't know. I didn't even know that the call was. I didn't even know that the call was for sure until that Wednesday, that day.
You knew. If
I did not know.
Listen, okay, let's say you knew that day. And here's the thing.
Okay, now time out. I know every motherfucking thing. Now, how does it change it?
How does it change?
Yeah, it's over.
Well, what
the motherfucker gave me the whoever the producer was gave me 4 bars. That's it.
Well, it wasn't 4 bars.
What was it?
I think you did 8. But in any event, in any event, that's
hey, I'm gonna fast forward a little bit more.
It was that fucking important.
I'm
just saying, listen to what I'm saying. I didn't really feel like it was that important for whoever did the motherfucker. I don't, it's not a big deal to me. It's been times, and like, do you remember the last time you did, when we was
right there, bro, because we can hit and miss as it go.
Yeah, it was a deep conversation.
Well, and what I thought I did was, because I actually, because, you know, I gave you guys, I think 4 clips, and
it was a lot of clips. I just went and watched the whole thing.
Yeah, I watched the whole thing.
Because I'm subscribed to their channel.
Yeah, I broke up the clips and clicked, you know, the whole damn show. But in any case, I guess, you know, where we want to start, because that was a great show. That was their best show. What's up,
start
B?
here.
Nah.
I'll start here and say this. Even though in the end it seems like they agreed to disagree, I do think that it was an excellent example of 2 people who, at the end of the day, their relationship trumps their disagreements. And I think that, you know, a lot of people can learn from that and just say, hey, you know what? We ain't gonna always disagree. We ain't gonna always agree. We ain't gonna always see eye to eye. But at the end of the day, we're gonna sit down, we're gonna have a straight, and you know, we're gonna talk
They
about
handle it like men.
Right, we're gonna handle it like men. Now, whatever side you fall on it is where you fall on it, but they handled it like men, and that was actually that was dope to see. That was very dope to see.
Well, so let me start, because first of all, you know, if you from Texas, nigga, you know about rap a lot. Shout out to Jay Prince. Shout out to Rhonda Prince. She's my friend on my social media page. Jay Prince's sister. So shout out to that whole Rap a Lot family. She is the she did with the money. It's just all the way to sum that up. But shout out to that whole, you know, Jay Prince family, man. You know, I would say this. Willie D, not them, because I honestly, the truth is, Scarface did not handle that. No, he didn't. He didn't. If you watch the whole show, even if at the beginning, if you notice, it was fuck it. Okay, it's my fault. No, it ain't as simple as that. And no, Willie, you can't put that all on me. Willie D was cool, nigga. Yes, I can. And if you watch the whole show, Willie D even said it. At the end of the day, the media people don't give a fuck about us, because normally this would have been handled behind closed doors. He said it, but because it was made public, I'm going to address this publicly. Scarface did not handle that in any type of way or fashion. It reminded me of the first thing of accountability. And he said, are you serious? Now you call and didn't know. It was this whole dumbfoundedness of, well, they called me. No, nigga, but you knew that you at that time you knew you were not doing a Ghetto Boys song. First of all, again, it was just so much from a, like I said, I'm a psychological dude. It was so much psychologically with that, the nonchalantness of face, you know, the instead of holding himself accountable, let me put it on everybody else. Well, they called me, so it's their fault that they didn't call you. Willie D goes on that show to say, if it was me, I would have told them, fuck y'all, because if I can't do it without my boy Brad, we ain't doing it.
Right.
And
Well,
that is
hold
what
on.
Willie D
I
was
hear
holding
you.
him to.
I hear you. And initially, I was with Face when he said, "Hey, they called me," because I'm thinking they called Scarface, not Ghetto Boys. And until the day, did he say the day before
No,
when
he
they did
said,
rehearsal?
right, he said he didn't
No,
know
I
until
was
he got
with
there.
Brad. I was with Brad until he said the day before that they wanted him to do a Ghetto Boys song. Now
Right,
then it was like, hey, I'm not saying that Willie D even needed to be there because the producers probably was. They may have even said, "Hey, Brad, we just want you," but it still was worth the phone call saying, "Hey, bro, I thought it was just a face thing. This is why I didn't say nothing. This has become a Ghetto Boys thing. How you feel about this?"
right. And that's what Willie D was saying, like, hey,
Because if
and
somebody,
again,
right? Because if somebody hit any of us up, let's say somebody hit me up, it was like, if somebody hit me up, it was like, "Hey, Brock, I want you to come on my pod." All right, cool. I'll come. But now if you're introducing me not as B Rock, but as Brock of the Petty Crew, then now I gotta have some conversations.
right. Well, you know what? No, I will say this. I'm glad you mentioned that. I think there's a little bit of a difference because I want you guys to spread y'all wings. So I'm like with Willie D. I wouldn't give a
But
fuck.
but again, you're
But
saying that because
you would
these
have been
conversations
respectful,
have happened.
right? You would have been
If these
respectful and
conversations
said,
never happened, we're gonna have some conversations first.
right, and see, and like I said, you guys, please go to that whole podcast. It's 50 minutes. Watch the whole thing because a lot of the things I'm saying was in the middle and the end. You guys just seen the beginning because Willie D goes on to say, you know, I know your family was proud of you, but I also had people who just happened to turn across who was watching the Grammys and seen Face and hear that Ghetto Boy song. And he said, my niece was expecting to see his uncle. But and my problem is that again, like Willie D said, nigga, you intelligent. Nigga, you ran for city office, nigga. You ain't one of these old dumbass idiots in Houston, Texas. You
Right.
you knew better than that. And Willie D, which I understand, is a man of code, is a man of principle. It ain't like, and he says it. I don't give a fuck about what that was. It's us at the end of the day when it ain't nobody else. It's us.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that's the hard thing for some people to read because unless you know code like that, on one hand, people are like, do you give a fuck or not? Because on one hand, Willie D is like, I don't give a fuck about the Grammys, but then the energy that he's putting off is like he gave a fuck. And unless you really know code like that, then that shit'll go over your head.
I don't
Right.
think
And
he gave a
and
fuck.
strangely enough, it surprised me that it seemed like it went over Face's head.
No, but you know what? No, Brock, you know what? I ain't gonna let him off that easy. And the reason why I say that is because Face had every opportunity to say, you know what? I apologize.
That's true.
That's why Willie
That's
D
true.
was pressing his ass. Like, nigga, we come out the same hood. Nigga, you know how we get down behind this hip hop. That nigga said, either you go play this or you go get them hands. Which one? Either either you go. That's how them niggas was in Houston, Texas. You follow what I'm saying? Willie D ain't no punk. Nigga's face is a
No,
gangster.
far
I
from it.
I think I think they left the Grammys was being messy and petty because Willie D, his stance on a lot of views, he's very militant. He's he's
Hey,
like
bro,
a
you know what?
Farrakhan
Come
lover,
on.
well, fan of
Didn't even
Farrakhan.
think about that. Didn't even think
He's
about
very militant. He's a man of man, basically. Not saying Scarface ain't, but he speaks on a lot of
He's
shit.
more outspoken
Yeah,
about his
and
personal
they
views than
right,
Brad
and
is.
he be calling these white folks out on their bullshit, and I think they purposely did it, and purposely left him off because even at the end of the day, for one, I liked it, but I really would have wished they would have just left this to BET to do because BET would have did it right. And the Grammys, yeah, that's they shit. That's probably why he don't really give a fuck about that it was the Grammys because that's they shit or
But he
whatever.
did give a fuck
But
though.
he gave a fuck about Scarface. He didn't give a fuck
right,
about the
right.
Grammys because
Yeah, we
he
gotta turn it up.
expected
No,
the Grammys. I think
whoa,
he
whoa, whoa, whoa,
expected the
whoa, whoa.
Grammys to
He
do some
gave a
fuck
fuck.
shit.
No, 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 no. It had nothing to do with Scarf. He gave a fuck that hip hop was being represented, and he wasn't a part of it that he should have been. It wasn't a Scarface thing. It was a hip hop thing.
Oh well, let's add
And
hold
he
on.
spoke on that, and I can respect that, cause if it was a Scarface thing, then I'd have said, dude, you jealous or something. But no, it was a hip hop thing, and I can respect that because Willie D is a part of hip hop. He
Yeah,
is.
well,
So
I
he
think
made it about hip hop. There was a 25, the what was it, the 25th or
50th,
30th,
50th, 50th, 50th.
50th? Yeah, excuse me. Dang, I'm all the way out.
Yes,
It's
sir.
it's this stuff. But either way, 50th anniversary of hip hop, and that was major. That was major for anybody who had the opportunity to grace that stage.
And
So
so,
that part I get.
okay, and I'm gonna add to that. You're right. So that's why you have to be able to listen and watch with what Joe Madison called that third ear, that third eye. He was really he was addressing two things. He was addressing face because he gave about what face did and what and as a man, Willie D felt, nigga, you wasn't on code when you did that. You fucked up. And then Willie D goes on to say, fuck the Grammys. Really, hip hop is bigger than the Grammys. It should have never been done. That and he goes on to say in the show, they would have never did that to rock and roll. They would have never did that to country music, which is true. And if you watch the show, he said, well, I know they called Cube, but Cube said, y'all gotta be fucked up. I'm good. Cause that's what Cube on. I'm straight. Nah, I'm good. And he mentioned other artists, Master P. Master P defined that hip hop era in the middle.
Yeah.
After Rap a Lot, it was No Limit. Then cat. So and but you didn't see Master P on there. And,
Well,
and
all right. So let's talk about the politics of music, though. You're not gonna see Master P on there because we're talking. We ain't talking about the BET Awards. We ain't talking about the Source Awards. We talking about the Grammys. And the Grammys will follow suit with what the talking heads or the actual leadership of music wants to talk about. That being said, Master P absolutely positively went against the grain and showed artists that you can indeed be in charge of your own legacy, which goes against everything that the talking heads of music would want to say. So I'm not saying that Master P shouldn't have been there to represent hip hop, but I do understand giving the stage why he wasn't.
okay, now with that, if I may, I want to rebuttal that. I'm gonna
Please
say
do.
this: the Ghetto Boys wasn't mainstream back then. So then you wouldn't, because the only mainstream song is Mine Playing Tricks on them. And if I think of mainstream Master P, it's make them say, because they played that in every state. I was on the East Coast, and if
Yeah, they
they
played
did
that
nothing
everywhere.
else, they played that in Body Body. They were playing
Well,
that
if
in,
that's the case, then the only mainstream you can truthfully say might be UGK.
Right. But see, but UGK was never mainstream, so you wouldn't see them on the Grammys. But if we go take the Ghetto Boys, which the only mainstream hit they got is a Mind Playing Tricks on Me. Master
Yeah,
P had several mainstream hits, even if they just played one. You follow what I'm saying? Because I was on the East Coast, nigga, and the only song, like I said, they were playing on the East Coast was uh I'm About It. Uh and if it wasn't that, it was make them say, So like I said, I thought that would be a great um topic because or bring it to light because we know dealing in our relationships, for instance, getting men and women together, shit, to do podcasts, to do anything, it take a hell of a lot of teamwork to make this shit happen. We 6 years strong because you guys are loyal. Even when you took a break, you follow what I'm saying? It was still we still a team. When Rod's not here, somebody else picking up. Rod said, "Hey, I'm coming. Just give me a couple of more weeks. I'm dealing with I got some organization stuff that I need to knock out first, but I ain't went nowhere."
indeed.
You see what I'm saying? And so,
Right.
and,
You
and
know
so
what?
like,
Here's the crazy thing, and
uh,
this actually just goes to what you were saying. Not this past Super Bowl, but last year's Super Bowl. You know who wasn't on the original docket? 50
uh,
Cent.
50 Cent, right?
Right.
50 Cent.
You know who said they would not perform if 50 wasn't there?
Eminem.
Yeah.
Eminem said, I'm not doing shit if y'all ain't got 50, because 50, what? He brought 50 or 50 brought him? I forgot.
No,
He
he
brought
brought
50.
50.
Yeah.
He found 50.
And so that to me actually holds even more weight because Marshall stands on his own without 50, just like 50 stands on his own without Marshall. But that
But
being
that being
said,
said,
50 wouldn't
50
even
wouldn't
hit
even
the
hit the
industry like he
industry like he
did
did
without
without
Eminem.
Eminem.
And
And
Eminem still was
Eminem
like,
still was
I
like,
will
I will
not
not
perform
perform
without 50.
without 50.
yeah.
Hmm.
And like I
I don't
said,
understand why they were trying to keep 50 off. Like, I mean, he
politics.
get on everybody's nerves,
It's
but
politics. Shit.
Politics, shit.
That's what that
That's what
is.
that is.
50 ain't the
50 ain't
most
the most
socially
socially
acceptable
acceptable
motherfucker.
motherfucker.
but he
Right.
be winning them lawsuits. Shit, I need to think of somebody I need to sue. Get him.
Right. Right.
Who lawyer you use?
But like I
Like
said,
I said,
it's
it's
I thought
I
that was
thought
a
that was a
beautiful
beautiful
example
example
of a
of a
relationship
relationship
you're dealing with
dealing with
business.
business.
And and
And
and
and and
and
and
Willie D
Willie
said,
D said,
I already
I
built my
already built.
following with Willie D. But and he says it to Face, you strong without the Ghetto Boys. But when we come together, Willie D and Scarface, we more powerful than anything individually.
Hmm.
And that's what he said. Basically, what he said in a nice, what I call nice, nasty way. That nigga said, I really didn't need to do the Ghetto Boys Reloaded. I stopped, and he said, I stopped making it about that to focus on this. And so in this case, what I saw, and Willie D was telling when he said it, I will give up what I got going on for the Ghetto Boys brand. I don't think Face is like that. I think Face saw an opportunity to be put back in the spotlight because you got to remember, Face been sick.
Hmm.
The nation didn't know Face was running for politics. Nigga, the only reason why I know Face was running for political office because I'm into politics.
Yeah,
So
I
Hmm.
seen it on the news.
yeah, so right. So outside of the local Texas shit, don't nobody really know what Face going on. Face so low key that nigga drop an album because he could just drop it. And if you find out he dropped it, you do. If you don't, you don't. So I think in this instance, because I don't, this is the first time where I've seen this publicly. I think in this instance, and I'm just gonna say this one because I don't know of any other. I think in this instance, Face was selfish
Yep.
in performing, knowing, regardless of it's
And
just
to me, you would lose a lot of trust points with me because it seems like some
yes,
sneaky shit.
yes,
Because I just can't see them being best of the besties doing a whole show, and you knew you had a call. Like, hell, when my husband surprised me to go, I didn't think he was down. I told him I wanted to go see Silk Sonic last year, and it was actually supposed to be me and my best friend go see Silk Sonic. Well, he was like, he wanted to go, and he said, buy the tickets. That'll be your birthday present. I called her immediately, and I was like, bitch, if you want to go, buy you a ticket. Shit, hell, we'll be a throuple in Vegas. You know, you're going to have to get your own room, but,
right,
you know, or whatever. But I would have felt bad if I'd have been in Vegas and didn't say shit.
right. And Face note, Willie D been knowing Face, for all these years, and he says it, we done been through it. And at the end of the day, it's still gonna be us, regardless of whatever we go through. Sadly, we just had to see it play out publicly. But again, there are lessons in that show. That's why I like that show. I watched that show, but to see it get real, because like we can all, play PC and do our thing on the show until we start going with it at each other. You follow what I'm saying?
Indeed.
Then that's when it becomes telling of, okay, what are they made of? That's why I said it took hell of a men on both ends, you know, regardless if you disagree or agree with either side, both were men. I just think
Yeah.
I just think Scarface should have said, instead of being so nonchalant, look at
Condescending.
it's my
Instead of
fault.
backpedaling and
Yeah,
pussy
instead of it
popping,
being
he
my
should have just
fault,
been a man and said,
just say,
yeah,
hey,
I
you know
fucked
what?
up.
No, I apologize if that made you feel some type of way. Because let's be real. Willie D might not have gave a fuck about the Grammys, which I believe because he don't give a fuck about the Grammys, but he gave a fuck about his boy and how he moved.
And
And
hip
Willie
hop.
D, yes, and Willie D has every right to feel that way. And
Yeah.
Yeah.
and Scarface had nothing really to stand on, but
That's
you
like
know,
if they would have did a new edition without Bobby. Like, how the fuck
right,
you
Well,
gonna do
but
that?
see, then I gotta ask that though. You right. You right to an extent, but I'm really sitting here thinking, how many solo artists I'm talking about, that just really went solo, double back like that, and
Yeah,
it's
because
not a
Beyonce
lot.
damn sure don't do it.
wait a minute, no,
Beyonce,
what are you
well,
asking,
you know
bro?
what? I'm not gonna say that out loud because I ain't afraid of much, but I don't fuck with the Beehive either.
I take that back. She did it at Coachella.
No,
she
what
she
were you
but
gonna
but
say,
like I'm
and the
bro?
sitting here
Super
thinking,
Bowl. I take that back.
I'm
Beehive,
sitting here
don't
thinking
come
about
after
all
me.
types of solo acts from Ghetto Boys to Destiny's Child to damn hell Drew Hill.
You
like
know, it's crazy. Bun B still does songs that Pimp C did when he performs, and if
Yes,
he can do
because
it for a man that ain't even here, Scarface damn show could have told Willie D.
nope, nope. Watch this. Well, yeah, but see, I think in all those are just different dynamic of
But
groups.
Bun
right.
B can
Like
stand on his own because Bun
do
B
either of
got
y'all know
hits.
how Outkast performs? Like, do either of them perform
Well,
Outkast
Drake
songs?
performed without.
Nope.
Big Boy performed without.
So
Three
let me
thousand on the Grammys.
right. So no, nope, nope. And that's what Willie D said. He don't give a fuck about the other folks because first of all, let me explain the big boy
Well,
Andre.
yeah, he quit rap.
No, no.
Yeah,
So
Dre
let's
ain't coming out in public really like
no,
that.
no,
Yeah,
no. So for those who are watching that don't know, Andre stepped back from the Outcast because he felt he had no more to offer to hip hop. He has every right. He's made millions of dollars
well,
to.
that's bullshit because he been featured on people's shit recently.
See,
No,
you ain't
but
even
he
listening.
actually did say that, and he actually made a hell of a point where he
You
was
ain't
saying the first word of hip hop is hip, and the older you get, theoretically speaking, the less hip you are.
right, right.
And he didn't want to. He said he never wanted to be the old dude trying to remain hip.
Right. In other words, as basically right, he evolved to a point to where if I was rapping now, I'll be front, I'll be capping, because that's not how my life is set up now. So I had to get away because I grew from it. I grew. He said, I
But
don't
hell,
want to
he ain't put out shit since what? Oh,
But the shit that he puts
three?
out is very relevant to where he is in life.
right. And so April to your well, he's featured on stuff. That ain't the
Yeah.
same. That's not the same as actually dropping your own album. That's not the same as performing with your other half of Outkast. And you gotta understand, Big Boy respect that. And for years, Big Boy didn't really want us to just say he's retired, man. We good. Because everybody thought, well, because Big Boy was never saying nothing, well, they must have been beefing. And to
No, they
finally
ain't
Big
had no
Boy was
beef.
like,
They
I don't know. I
brothers.
knew
They
right,
yeah.
right,
brothers.
right. But you know how media is. Well, what's going on? You just see Big Boy performing without Dre. And to finally he like, man, he said it on the Breakfast Club, like, he on something else now, man. Like, I can perform Outkast songs because at the end of the day, I'm still Outkast. And
Right.
so he's performing Outkast songs, and then if you, especially if you've been to his concert, that nigga go perform his shit because he dropping his own, and he'll go back and reach for the classics.
Right.
But
Now,
that is,
mind you, if they ever come back together, hell, I would absolutely go see them.
yes, most definitely. But
Shit, they ain't even gotta come out with nothing new. They can come do
so
they old shit, cause that speaker box love below, hell, that shit it still gets played in my damn car.
yeah, so with their relationship and Big Boy performing in Face, they are not the same. They are two.
There was an understanding that's already been there.
Yeah, that's already understanding that's there. That at the end of the day,
But
bro,
didn't Willie D say he was done rapping too? He didn't, cause I ain't heard Willie D,
listen.
cause he damn sure don't be at none of the hip hop that cause we went to a concert where Scarface was
But that's a
at.
choice. That go back to Willie D. What he said. You had a choice. That's a choice. But Willie D still perform. He performing.
Oh, see, I didn't know he still perform. I thought he was on his
Yeah, Dre
Andre
performed, but Dre be
3000,
on some
not
other.
rapping.
Like Dre, they say you could be in New York in a random night, and Dre will show up to a poetry night playing the fiddle
right.
and doing like yeah, like
He on
Dre is
he on his
like
other shit.
he's on some
Like
other shit.
he
And when
on
he
his
pops up on and when he pop up on a feature, he murder that shit and then
Yeah, he do.
disappear.
right. So that's why I said let's not get features mixed with really performing. It's easy just to write a couple of verses. Oh, for a nigga. Oh, I'm feeling because first of all, let's be clear. That nigga ain't writing verses for everybody. He's very selective. He
Oh hell
very
yeah.
he's very for selective who he finna write on. So you can literally, if you think about the last fucking 5 years, nigga, you probably could count on one hand how many features he's been
It's
on.
four that I can think of right off the top of my
Right,
head.
right.
And
That's,
and,
that's
and
it.
now mind you, all of them are fucking fire.
Hmm.
Yes.
I
But
Right.
remember the
he
Walk
was
It Out.
very,
The
very
Walk It Out was the
selective.
dopest one. The Walk It Out remix. That
Right.
was my shit.
He did the Walk It Out. He did one with Rick Ross that's insane. He
So
did one with
Beyonce.
Anderson Paak that was nuts.
Oh
so
And then
yeah,
he
Willie
the
did
D
one
one
did
with
with
Anderson
Kanye.
Paak. Yes, I love that
well,
one.
he did one with Toby out of Houston. Toby New
Yeah,
William.
Yeah, he did.
He
He
dropped one
did.
for him, and that was
he d-
the highlight pinnacle for Toby. That nigga said, if I could just get a
Right.
verse from Dre, I'm
Right.
good.
Drake
If
is
I could
out here
just get a
blessing
verse.
folks at this point.
Right. So he's at a place where he can be selective in who he want to appear on. But that's just pure beauty of people respecting your craft, and he's not gonna just waste his time and energy on just everybody's shit. So there's a couple of different dynamics with that being said. Man, listen, I think everybody that said, what they had to say. We got brother Mute, you know who that is. He done checked in. He says Mr. Ice Cream Man talking about Master P.
Mr.
He
Ice
says
Cream Man.
he says Andre 3000 stepped back to do some acting and
Yeah,
take
he did.
care of his kids. And that's
Yeah.
right.
I
You
can't
know,
knock Dre for that, man.
yeah,
Dre has blessed the industry with so many. Dre don't owe hip hop shit.
He don't.
Absolutely nothing.
Like I
Absolutely.
said, he ain't never got to put out another album. Hell, they old shit is
Yeah, I was,
timeless.
Yeah,
It's
I
classic.
put Dre up there. Everybody see this sweater. If you ain't figured it out yet, it was Brenda, Letitia, Linda, Felicia, Don,
I
LaShawn.
need
You know,
that.
right. If you ain't figured it out yet, Dre is on this level.
right,
Dre don't owe hip hop shit.
right. Yeah.
Mm-mm.
Now I will say this last thing because I think April mentioned Bun B. Again, it go back on code. When you request UGK, you cutting a check to Pimp C family. It's
Yeah, you
still
are.
it's still Pimp C for life, even in death. It's UGK. If you asking for UGK, you're gonna cut a check like Pimp C is here, and
Now,
it's
if
going
you
to
asking for a check for Bun, if you asking for Bun probably
If
ain't
you
gonna
ain't here
perform.
to fuck pimp, then
right,
you ain't finna fuck bun.
right.
Yeah,
So that's just Bun B is again. He's just an on cold nigga.
Yeah.
I'm gonna still rep for Pete. It's
He was
still
even doing that
UGK.
when Pimp C was in jail. Cause I
Right,
remember going to a concert and he would play and would do the whole song. He would rap Pimp's or he'll let the
right.
crowd rap Pimp's verse, even when Pimp C was in prison.
So with
well,
Bun
and
B,
Pimp would do the same shit for Bun too because
right.
Yeah.
I saw Pimp live with Bun not there, and Pimp did the same shit for Bun.
Yeah. They
Right.
just
And see, that's what I'm saying. Bun, which it's just easier just to go and pay for UGK because you go get Bun B songs, but no, that nigga really UGK first. You see what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
because
yeah.
I don't give a shit if Bun done drop some hits,
Yes.
Right,
but I will be as a fan, I would be royally pissed if I went to a Bun B concert and didn't hear Pocket Full of Stones.
Right.
Eh, there you go. There you have it. That's it.
So
I
yeah,
mean, that's it. So it's easier to go and pay Bun for UGK.
yeah,
It go to
yeah.
drop that bread if you go because Bun again. It goes back to the whole thing. If I'm
Even like
what you gonna say, April? What you gonna
Even
say?
like when we went to the Jay Z concert a couple years ago, Jay Z, hell, he did Big Pimpin'. That was like one of
He
his
showed the
second to
fuck did,
last songs, and he let the crowd do Pimp C verse, and
and I
we
Right.
was up
all
there like
murdered that bitch.
smoking hot. Oh,
That's what I'm.
Yeah, yeah,
and,
So
and and
that's
for
why I
the record,
said
I'm not even the biggest Pimp C fan. I'm really I'm a fan of his business acumen, but lyrically I'm just not. But
right.
it's certain
man.
shit that Pimp say. Hey, you had this discussion.
I
I mean, right?
know. I mean, I
I'm a
like
Bun
Bun,
fan.
but I'm
Bun
a
was
big
my
Bun B fan too. But Pimp C is just animated.
yeah. I
His
mean,
cadence. He make you sound.
Pimp has his place in hip hop that is irreplaceable, and just like all right, I'll equate it to this. There are folks on the West Coast who swear by E40. E40 just don't do it for me. But I'm not gonna disregard his place in hip hop for West
Yeah,
Coast rap.
yeah. Like
What that one album that had Players Ball, that was used to be my whole man. I used to have
like
that album. That was my shit.
my pops love E40.
E40,
My
man,
pops
what?
love E40. He just love how he raps. But it goes back to you having your taste.
Yeah,
Right.
MC always told you though, nigga, we ain't rapping these country rap tunes. They are not the same. Nigga, this is country rap tunes. But he told you. So you're not going to expect him to be a black thought because he's telling you, nigga, I'm not
That
black
ain't what
thought.
he on.
hmm
I'm not that I can't do it. That ain't what I'm built on. That ain't what
Yeah.
I want to be on. It ain't that he couldn't. Cause Pimp, if when it's no different than Bun. If you listen to Bun shit by itself and just really listen to that shit,
he telling a story. He telling stories.
all that shit niggas talk about Jay-Z be like, nigga, put in you some Bun B first, nigga. You'll find out he been on that shit. You just got on it. He already
Right.
hmm
been on it. You follow what I'm saying? But you gotta really listen to Bun B music to be like, oh,
He's a storyteller.
oh, okay, right, gotcha. So again, that's another group that that complemented each other.
Mm-hmm.
You know, because the gangster was Pimp C, Bun was
Yeah,
the
yeah,
schoolboy.
absolutely.
You know
And
what
that's
I'm
why
saying?
I have the utmost respect, because
Right,
there is no UGK without Pimp C.
right, indeed. And I don't think nobody could feel that place that it wouldn't even sound right. And
Right.
so, like I said, even with all of them, you know, with that being said, Texas has influenced the music industry, regardless.
And they be trying to hate too.
Yeah, because nigga Sauce Walker, listen, I ain't into none of them new niggas like that, right? Sauce Walker say, nigga, we the one put y'all on anime. Is he lied? No, that nigga ain't lied. Nigga, y'all start talking that anime shit till y'all start hearing them talking that anime shit. Now before that, you talking about Wu-Tang, but that was karate. But that anime shit, South Walker say, nigga, we the ones thought about that anime. Now y'all on anime. We the one
Well,
brought this.
this is what I hit him with. This is what I hit him with. What group would you consider to be the godfathers of West Coast rap?
Group
It's Godfather.
Probably
NWA.
NWA, right?
Hell yeah.
Uh,
Okay. All right. Well,
But I like West Side
NWA pretty
Connection
much was the
though.
platform that everybody else built off of on the West Coast, correct?
It, yeah. Yeah.
okay, I'm
Okay.
gonna follow you because it was
Okay.
other
Follow
rap
me.
groups
Walk with
before
me for a
NWA.
second. Walk
Okay,
with me for a second.
okay,
I'm not saying that there wasn't other things, but NWA set the foundation
Foundation.
for
right.
Yeah.
I agree with
everything
that.
else that
Yeah,
followed.
yeah,
From that.
Right.
right.
Okay, that's awesome. But the nigga that wrote, I say about 60 to 70% of their shit was a Texas boy.
Doc, DOC.
Exactly.
IQ wrote they first album though.
No,
Hey, he wrote they,
he wrote
but
some
He
even
of them.
wrote they
DOC was writing then.
Right. DOC was right with Q.
yeah, it was both of them because Q wrote all his shit.
Right. Cube wrote his shit, but DOC wrote everybody else's.
Right,
Yeah.
right, wrong with everybody
Right.
else's
And
shit.
then if you want to go to one of the album that is considered a hip hop cult classic, The Chronic, DOC wrote 80% of it.
And
Right.
watch
Because
this.
Dre wasn't a rapper. Dre did the
No,
beats, right?
no, and that ain't taking nothing away from Dre. Dre is when it come to beats, Dre is goaded.
And, and,
Right.
But
and
let's
guess
not
who else
forget
wrote on the
that
Chronic?
the cat that had that pen working and was helping that West Coast rap come to life
Right.
was a Texas boy.
Right.
Yeah.
Hey, but
Eric
watch
Badu
this.
baby that.
We also got to add who added to that Chronic, Jay-Z. A lot of niggas don't know Jay-Z was
Jay
writing
Z.
for
Oh
Dre.
yeah, a lot of
Jay-Z
people
was
don't know
writing
that
for
Jay Z
Dre.
wrote. What was the track? Still Dre.
Yeah, Still Dre was
Uh
that's
huh.
Jay-Z.
That was Jay Z. That was Jay
That's
Z's pen
Jay-Z.
all day. And when
Yeah,
you listen to it, it actually sounds like Dre.
that's
I mean, I
right.
mean, I mean, I'm sorry, it sounds like Jay Z.
Jay-Z.
Jay Z.
When you
Yeah,
really, really listen to it, it sounds like Jay Z. Jay
right.
Z.
Well, with that being said, man, be going and we done had a nice hour and
Oh,
45.
indeed, indeed. First off, salute to all of y'all
Yeah,
for sticking around listening to us. For those of y'all who are gonna listen later, we appreciate y'all. We love y'all. Shout out to my man Boss Hall for just continuing to bring this shit to fruition and just engineering this and making sure that the wheels stay turning. April O'Neil, my favorite white girl, my favorite cousin. Love you, baby.
Love you too,
Um,
Kinfolk.
and for our co-hosts who weren't able to make it, April O'Neil. I'm sorry, not April, but Diamond. I know she down there somewhere holding them pearls, being pretty, and and our boy Easy Ray.
yeah,
Yay. And then last but not least, First Lady of Sports, Raj. She's gonna be back soon.
yes,
So
sir, yes,
hey,
sir.
we appreciate y'all. Like, subscribe, follow us on our social medias. We on every platform, the Petty Crew. You can find us. We verified on Twitter. We got
Yes,
that blue
sir.
check.
Yes,
I'm
sir.
feeling myself with that blue check. I
Yes,
actually got
sir.
I got some extra followers on my personal page because of that
Yes,
blue check.
sir. Yes,
So, but
sir.
nah. But seriously though, hey, we really appreciate y'all. Um, I can't speak for my fellow hosts, but this shit is therapeutic for me. So I
Hmm.
just love being able to sit in front of this mic and just spew my shit. So we appreciate y'all listening. We appreciate y'all following. Continue to like, subscribe, and if there's anything that you want to hear us talk about, be sure to shoot us a message, shoot us an inbox. I promise you, we'll get on it.
We
But with
definitely
all of
will.
that being said, we love y'all. Until next week, peace.
Peace.
Bye.
Hey, don't hang up.